We've all been there. I'll get my life together this new year. I'll publish that article. I'll start working out. I'll network better. I'll eat healthier. The determination to do better in the coming year. We've made promises to ourselves. We've said a lot of things that we would start doing when the new year starts. And while I understand where this comes from, I'm going to tell you why it is highly problematic. I've done this for as long as I can remember making decisions for myself. I have always made New Year resolutions, and time again, they always fall through. Now, there's something I like to do. I like to trace back my steps every once in a while when I can. In recent times, I have realized why my New Year's resolutions never ever stand, and why I never respect them, and why every December I find myself thinking, what did I really do this year? Where did the 12 months go? Where did all my money go? What have I been doing with myself? As human beings, we always have expectations. It's quite impossible to step into a next season without setting expectations. First thing I did was to shift my perspective, was to shift my thinking. I realized that I was putting so much importance on a date. This date was January 1st. I was putting so much importance on this date. I felt like the person I would be by January 1st would be a different person. But that person is not who I am right now. Now, why is that problematic? Because I have not done anything to best that person. Why do I have so much faith in myself to become that person overnight on January 1st? And when I step into the new year as that version that I hoped to be on that day, I step in as an imposter. So that person is just expected to be completely new, a completely higher version of myself who is more responsible, who can hold herself accountable, who can do things, and at the end of the year can be proud of them. That is a completely flawed way to view your new year, because you have to realize that you are not a computer that will just upgrade with just a click or push of a button. You are a human being who goes through certain processes and certain stages to achieve any level of growth or any desired level of growth. You can't skip the steps. I shifted my thinking to see January 1st as just another date. And what that did for me was that it didn't stop me from making plans. It didn't stop me from setting goals. It only allowed me to understand that where I am at right now, wherever I am at the point of realization, is the best place to start. Whatever month it is, at any point in time that you feel like something has to change in my life, that exact moment is the best time to change things in your life. Don't wait for the new year. Don't wait for second half. Don't wait for first quarter or second quarter. Don't do that. Wherever you are right now is the best time to start changing your life. And that is a philosophy that I tried to key into and practice this year. And even though I didn't follow it through at every single point in time, I tried my best, and the results I got were better than my previous years. That I would just make resolutions and wait for January 1st to beat them. It's the same thing that happens when you have certain addictions. So you tell yourself, I'm going to get rid of all my cigarettes on January 1st. But the problem is, who you are at December 31st is the same person you would be January 1st. But at the time of realizing that you need to stop, at that very point, if you start working on stopping, you would see that the person you would even be in the new year would not need much convincing, because you've grown in responsibility, you've grown in discipline. So that's the difference. See where you are right now as your new year. See it as your new page. Now, I don't call them resolutions, I call them plans. And I'll tell you why. This brings me to my second point. Making plans and making plans to execute those plans. It's so easy to say things like, I'll step into my soft girl era in 2024. I'll get my finances up in 2024. I'll travel more in 2024. But what we often fail to do is that we fail to create a strategy that can help us achieve those plans. And while those plans are not bad in themselves, while they're actually really important to our lives, because there is no moving forward without planning. The disservice we do ourselves constantly is that we fail to make the needed plans and we fail to do the needed strategizing to get us to execute those plans. Let's say you want to get your finances up in 2024, because that's actually my plan in 2024, to increase my finances and to have more time to read. I would love to read more books in 2024, but I know that I have to plan to see these plans become a reality. What that would look like for me is I would go back to my business. I would envision how much I want to make for the year or for each month of the year. Then I would look at what I'm currently doing, which might be my business or my job. I would look at it and I would make a mental evaluation to see if this job or this business can actually get me the finance that I would want to garner in this new year. When I do that, it would help me understand whether or not I need to pick up new skills, whether or not I need to work towards improving my portfolio to getting a better job, whether or not I need to network more to access better opportunities. So when you break things down like this, it helps you put things into perspective. And at the end of the day, your resolutions are not just resolutions, they become plans. And your plans are not just plans, they become habits, they become practices. And ultimately, they become your reality. So practicing this really brought immense change for me, and this is what I will be doing moving forward. No empty resolutions. Not saying things and feeling like they would come to pass just because I said it and just because I proclaimed it or just because it's a new year and new things need to happen. It doesn't really work like that. So when you think of the new year, try not to think of it as a new slate that can only be written on by this new, unseen or unmet version of yourself. Because what this keeps you from doing is that this keeps you from experiencing your true greatness. So until you can shake yourself free from making future commitments without currently being accountable, you set yourself up for disappointment time and time again. So as this new year swiftly approaches, in fact, the one thing that I've learned is that the real change isn't about making big promises. It's about taking intentional steps every day. I want you to leave behind the idea that transformation only happens once a year. No more waiting for an idealized version of the future. Instead, embrace the real you right now. Embrace that version of you right now and get to work with that version of you right now. So as the calendar flips, okay, don't focus on becoming someone new on January 1st, but focus on growing and learning and excelling every single day, step by step, day by day. Because the journey of change isn't about January 1st. It's not about the new month. It's not about the new year. It's not about that first day of the new year. It's about the small, purposeful steps that you can take right here, right now. If you found this helpful, you might want to share it so that you can have an amazing year and someone else might too. And if you are not subscribed, you should do that, because I always make videos like this. If I'm not talking about random stuff, I'm talking about hair care, natural hair care, and stuff like that. And traveling. I love traveling. So you can subscribe, you can like this video. I would really appreciate that. Have an amazing new year, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.